Thank you. Good afternoon, families and friends, staff and faculty, and most importantly, good afternoon to the graduating class of 2023. 4 years. 4 years is the typical length of time it takes to complete a bachelor's degree, and in 4 years, I successfully completed a bachelor's and a master's degree here at Champlain College. Now, this is not a personal brag. I am truly the product of my support system. As poet John Donne once wrote, "No man is an island." Completion took tremendous amount of determination, coupled with never any productive procrastination and plenty of sleepless nights. Most importantly, however, this achievement relied heavily on the support from my friends and academic advisors, as without them, I'd probably have dropped out when I received my first B. These degrees were truly a testament to the things that can be accomplished with a substantial amount of internal and external motivation. If you had told me in my senior year of high school 7 years ago that I would be here speaking in front of my college classmates for the completion of my graduate degree, I would have said absolutely not. Why would I willingly return to school, a place I was quite literally counting the days to be free from? By my junior year of high school, I was completely disillusioned with the idea of structured learning, the extreme emphasis on standardized testing, and a general lack of applications to real life. I honestly could not envision myself going to college where I would be paying for what I assumed would be a similar experience. Nor was I interested in learning a trade or general labor. With few known options, I turned to the Army, enlisting in 11th grade and shipping off to the infantry 2 weeks after graduation. Newton's first law of motion states that an object in motion will stay in motion, while an object at rest will remain at rest unless acted upon by an external force. In 2018, that force came through the realization that life in the military was simply not for me, and I once again returned to familiar crossroads. There's a saying that goes, "You often meet your fate on the very road you took to avoid it," and going to college was truly meant to be at this point. So, I turned what started as a permanent absence from school into essentially a 2-year gap year and applied to the cybersecurity bachelor's degree program. The Monday following that graduation, I began an information security master's degree program. And on the 1st of this month, I was accepted to the PhD in offensive cyber engineering program at Capital Tech University. Now, it is one thing to keep going when you're already going, but life does give you plenty of reasons to stop. Even a spring has to pull back to launch forward, and it takes a certain level of resiliency to keep going when literally everything but the kitchen sink is being thrown at you. These 4 years have witnessed the birth of my child, a combat deployment to Iraq, an acrimonious divorce, the immense burden of single parenthood, the complete shutdown of the world as we knew it due to the pandemic, and 2 cross-country moves. It has been nothing short of exhausting. I'm sure many of you have gone through your own fair share of stressful situations, especially in regard to the effects of the pandemic. Judging by how we're all here today, you remain undaunted and incorrigible. For all that you have endured and overcome, you should be immensely proud of yourselves. When I brought up the idea of doing this speech to a former associate, she laughed. To be honest, I don't typically like sharing my intentions to do things with others before I am finished, because it is easier to sell a product than to sell a dream. External discouragement coupled with internal doubt can be the biggest dream killer. Her response hurt and served to justify my negative inner thoughts, initially discouraging me for applying for a commencement speaker. I'm sure many of you have had your own fair share of negative Nancys and naysayers. However, there are very few second chances offered throughout life, and a submission extension was all it took for me to regain my bearings and push through. Standing here before you all, I'm immensely grateful to have done so. It is said that everyone dies twice. Once at the end of their life, and again when they are forgotten by the last person to know of them. One quote I reflect upon often is actually one of my own. "What is life but a fleeting chance to be everlasting?" I suppose I have to cite this speech in a future paper now, but I digress. Life is painfully short, but as a rock dropped in a pond, we each have the ability to be a powerful and lasting influence on someone, either good or bad. We can choose to motivate and uplift them, or discourage and unnerve them. How you choose to live will determine how you are remembered, or if you are remembered at all. You may not be able to control the day of your first death, but you have full control of the day of your second death. May you all live to be immortal. Thank you.